Salam alaikum. Today we'll go over the 6 common mistakes that beginners perform in bodyweight training, aka calisthenics. Let's get right into it. The first mistake is speed over technical mastery. Now the problem over being fulfilled with being able to do as much reps as we can and increasing the speed by sacrificing the form is that you're not really gaining anything out of it. Really what you're doing is that you are under the impression that you're doing a good job and that you feel accomplished of the fact that you have done this many push-ups, when in reality you've done all these push-ups wrong. You've done so many push-ups, but you've sacrificed what you call the form, technical mastery, fancy word for form, right? You've sacrificed the form for increased speed, which is something you should not do. You'd rather do 5 push-ups than do 15, but 15 all of them bad. But also keep in mind that when you're doing push-ups, do them in the right way. When you first start doing push-ups, you might as well strike it from the root and teach your body how to actually do the push-ups, because once you do the push-ups wrong and you keep doing that consistently, you're teaching your muscles, your mind, your body how to do the push-ups, and it's hard to relearn the push-ups because you're going to have to learn from the step 1, which is going to be hard because you've already got used to with doing the push-ups as you are already. So you start from the roots, take it slow, and do the push-ups correctly. What I see often, or maybe not so often, when you go to the park and you see guys do the pull-ups, and truly they're muscular, so they're admirable. But what they do is that sometimes they might do things to impress others. And when they do the pull-ups, it might seem like they're doing so much in the ignorance eye. But what they're actually doing is that when they're doing the pull-ups, their head doesn't go above the pull-up bar itself, but it goes just enough that perhaps it reaches just the nose, or maybe not even the nose. But it just seems like they're doing so many pull-ups, so it seems like they're strong. But really is that they're cheating themselves away from the full benefit, exercise, advantage of what the exercise can possibly offer. You need to commit to the exercise at hand and do it perfectly. You need to get the full benefit of committing to the whole range of motion. You cannot just do the range of motion and expect it to be something you gain out, because you won't gain anything out of it. You really won't gain anything out of it by cheating yourself, because who you're really cheating is yourself. You're not cheating anyone else but yourself. Please keep this in mind. Second, starting with no warm-ups. Now, as a beginner, when you do the jumping jacks for the first time, when you're so sedentary of all your past, you might feel a little dizzy like I, because your body's just unaware. But if you're like me, you've had some experience with sport activities and all that, you're going to do just fine. What I learned is that warm-ups can be majorly cut in terms of what you actually have to do. You can do a couple jumping jacks for a minute and go straight to your strength routine. But if you really want to go professional, you can go over the top and do jumping jacks, burpees as examples. And there's much more. Just search up warm-ups for strength routines. You will figure something out, what suits best for you. But what I will do is that when you do, push-ups, always try to make your joints a little bit more flexible. So if I'm doing push-ups, elbows are required. So I do arm circles. I think you call them elbow circles. And then you also need to use your shoulders. So shoulder rotations, front and back, really use those. And you also use your wrist. So make sure you just do wrist circles. And I do 2 or 3 more on the ground. But after that, I do also incline push-ups, which does not require much force of me as it used to. So I do that just to warm my muscles up a little bit before I actually get into it. But it takes about 5 minutes along to do the jumping jacks and all the movements. But really it's just to train my body to work at its maximum capacity, at its near maximum capacity. Really what you're doing is 3 things. You want to do warm-up to prevent injury, to increase core temperature and circulate blood flow, because you're priming the body for it to get ready for the strength exercises that you are about to commit. Third mistake is that believing body weight isn't effective. There's two types of people. There's people who see in times of adversity the clear opportunity, and there's people who just can't. Right now, you're in a financial resource deficit. You literally have no money. Alright? You're exactly like I. So what would you do in this stead? Would you just cope and say, well, I don't have to work out because, I don't have the gym membership to do so? Or would you gonna be like me? Take matters on your own hands, accountability at its finest, and do the workouts at home from the luxury of your own home. Working out at home, calisthenics, is on par with weightlifting if you do it all correctly. Although weightlifting can give you the progress a lot more quicker than bodyweight, you're still making the progress, and it's still going to lead to the same result, even if both of them might take different time periods. And another thing to mention is that bodyweights are actually inferior to weights in terms of training legs, because there's just so many things you can do with just legs with only bodyweight that you can do much more with just weightlifting. But look, frankly, honestly, it's not like we're gonna be broke forever. So you're gonna get your money, you're gonna go weightlifting and all that, but you might not have it just yet. You might be my age, or it might be a little older, but you can't use your money now. You don't have to spend a single dime for the next 1, 2, or even 3 years, because really you won't be that broke by the end of 3 years. You will be making some money, hopefully. So to be honest, you can do it from the comfort of your own home. And that's not to say bodyweight is completely ineffective. It absolutely isn't. If it's capable of bringing upon 20 pounds of muscle by the end of the year, I find that's pretty effective, isn't it? So make sure you do bodyweight training. Fourth, being inconsistent with training. Thinking that one strength training session is enough to get you the result, you're absolutely mistaken. You have to think training as a long-term tool that will bring you to your dream aesthetic or muscular strength. Fifth mistake, no progress tracking. Progress tracking is absolutely crucial to encourage consistency and bring about motivation. Now, this is absolutely important because you can do this in many ways. And as I said, the importance of consistency and motivation. You can do this in many ways, and let me give you some examples. So, you can do progress pictures after every workout. You just take a picture and you keep it saved, maybe in a Google Drive, like somewhere where, it's categorized and it's safe, and you can also date it. Or you can take a video and you just flex in front of the mirror. You can have a physical workout journal and you write exactly what you did for that day in terms of working out. And you do two things. You track the day you work out as a habit. You track the habit itself, and you also track the reps and sets. And you can see as you get stronger, you're capable of doing more reps and sets, which signifies that you are moving on an upward hill, not a downward hill. So you can do that. Personally, not sponsored, but I use this app called Habit Now Routine Planner. This is absolutely crucial because I love the sleek interface, and I think it's beautiful the way it's designed. It's also sleek. So I use that personally to track all my habits, especially working out. So I work out 3 times a week because my muscle still has to recover. I'm still in the beginning phase, even if I'm 4 months in. I'm still learning stuff, but I need to keep track of everything at hand. So I keep track with that app itself, and sometimes I do journal, but I journal specifically for other reasons, not for working out. 6th mistake, we're doing the same workout expecting different outcomes. Now, you might be looking at a friend of yours who's gone to the gym for perhaps a year, And you're still wondering, how is he still with that same physique? Now the reason why he's still with the same physique is because he still hasn't understood a fact. And this is that they just don't know how the muscle builds strength and builds mass. They just don't understand. And you have to explain to them that it is through progressive overload. Is that when there's an adequate amount of physical stress placed on the body, your muscle responds by adapting to it. It will always adapt by responding to it in terms of expanding in mass and developing strength. So that is extremely important to understand. So keeping that, you need to always understand that you need to always make your workouts harder than last time. If you don't do that, then how exactly are you expecting yourself to move on to the next and next and next? Beginners might do this mistake because they do not know progressive overload as a fact anyway. They're so non-existent, they're so beginner level, they don't understand. But think of calisthenics as like a level game, right? For example, from you're gonna have stats. You're at level 1, then you go level 2, level 3. Think of workouts as a way to measure yourself in terms of levels. If you conquer the first monster, you're gonna conquer the next one, and next one, and next one, and it gets progressively harder as your skills get progressively stronger. That's how it exactly works. So this quote will set it out. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. By Einstein. 7th mistake, training with no goal in mind. I don't have to mention this, it's pretty obvious, but not only training specific, your life needs to be revolving around goals, because or else your life doesn't have any order at all. What gives structure and meaning to our lives is that we have goals in the first place. And frankly, if you don't have any goals, well, you are going to help someone reach their own goals. And that is basically social media. My goal, I have an ambitious goal of bringing this channel to 100 subscribers by January 18, 2024. That's my goal, so make sure you do subscribe so you can help me out, as I will post more and more quality videos to help y'all in self-improvement, fitness, and all that. So make sure you do subscribe so that you can help me. And that's my goal. That's what gives meaning to my life. So I'm moving at a productive route. And what's the opposite to productive is unproductive. If you're moving on a unproductive route, you're most definitely getting yourself onto a goal that you might not even want. You're moving down a route where you're hoping social media companies make profit through ads. You're helping someone, it might not be me, which the fact that you're watching this whole video is that you're helping me in specific. So make sure you do remember that you either help me or you either help yourself. Because the fact that you're watching this video so long and you're here, that means you've helped me in coming closer to my YouTube goal. But are you helping yourself? No. But the thing is that I'm different from any other, so please continue watching my video. Because I'm trying to help you to actually get what you really want. And I'm trying to get you past the learning curve and the mistakes that you could have gone through as a beginner at hand. So you're a beginner, remember this crap. And as a beginner, I don't want you to make these 7 mistakes, because if you made these 7 mistakes, now it's the time to realize that you should not be making them. If you make them after watching this video, you're ruining yourself, because you shouldn't really, frankly, be making these mistakes. I just said everything. So my channel is meant for men who will soon realize that they have potential outside the school system, and that my channel hopes to be the catalyst, the igniter to knowledge and wisdom to bring about your 2.0 selves. Assalamu alaikum.